Guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and this is currently my Manchester United versus Burnley preview tomorrow night, 8 o'clock kickoff on the 29th of January, as I currently said. So, essentially, so far, it's looking very, very good under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. 8 wins out of 8, 22 goals scored in the current process, and 6 league wins, so 6 league wins, out of the 8, 6 league wins and 2 FA wins, as we all currently know. And Solskjaer is looking to become the first manager ever to win his first 7 Premier League games. So he could potentially make history, in the Premier League tomorrow because Guardiola won 6. Carlo Ancelotti, won his first 6 as well. So essentially, Solskjaer is looking for 9 wins out of 9. With Manchester United, as we all currently know. We know currently Burnley, pretty poor team. To be quite honest with you, last time they played, they got thrashed by Manchester City, by 5 goals to 0. They're in a good run of form before. I think they were like 5 games undefeated with Burnley, as we all currently know. Burnley haven't beaten us at Old Trafford, since 1962. They haven't beaten us, for like a decade. The last time they did beat us was in 2009, as we all currently know. They've got injuries to the likes of Jonathan Walters, is it, or something like that, and they've got Aaron Lennon injured as well, so they've got a few injury problems of their own. They're sitting 16th, they're only 3 points above the relegation. They've won 6, drawn 4, and lost 13 out of 23 games so far this season of Burnley, as we all currently know. I think we beat them early on this season, by 2 goals to 0, as we all currently know. But as I did say, so potentially we're looking for 9 wins out of 9 under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 8 wins out of 8, so far under Solskjaer. Bit of team news, going into the game. Reports coming out saying that Solskjaer's confirmed that Chris Smalling, could return and he could be in contention. Could Chris Smalling, because he's obviously, being injured with a foot injury, and we know that mainly he's been going with Lindelof and Phil Jones as a centre-back partnership. There's talk saying that Jones could return as well, and Diego Dalot could be in contention. Obviously, last time out against Arsenal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did make 5 changes to the squad, so he did potentially rotate the squad a little bit in the Arsenal game, as we all know, because he obviously he put Sergio Romero in goal. He brought Bay into the team. He brought Lukaku and Sanchez, from the start as well. But potentially David De Gea will be in contention, tomorrow to play against Burnley. As that's confirmed. I think Martial and Rashford will be in contention, from the start tomorrow as well. After they didn't start from the start against Arsenal, he played Lukaku and Sanchez. But we know that Solskjaer's number, we know that Solskjaer's, has been mainly Martial and Rashford ahead of Lukaku and Sanchez. But Lukaku and Sanchez, played fantastic against Arsenal. They made a big impact. Lukaku got 2 assists. Sanchez got his name on the score sheet as well, and so did Jesse Lingard. And I think, Jesse Lingard's progression, is really improving, to be quite fair. So I have been very, very impressed with Jesse Lingard. We're now in the FA Cup 5th round. The current draws tonight. That's going to be made as well. So yeah, it should be an easy Manchester United win against Burnley, as we all know. The last time we actually did visit Burnley at Old Trafford, the last visit at Old Trafford was actually 2-2, so Burnley did give us a good game in that one as well. But we haven't lost to them, since 1962, so that must be about 57 years or something like that, and we haven't lost to Burnley. So probably we'll be bringing David De Gea back into contention. We know Marcus Rojo's still injured, of course, and obviously Manny and Fellaini is still injured, and he'll probably bring Martial and Rashford back into contention from the start. But what a good performance it was against Arsenal, and I think everything's dramatically improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I currently said, we're getting fullbacks out of the pitch, creating more chances, scoring more goals. I think in this game, we do have other options in that midfield, to maybe put Juan Mata in there or put Fred in there. Fred has lacked game time this season at Manchester United. He hasn't really had the chance, but it will probably go with a midfield that looks very, very effective, with Herrera, Matic and Pogba, as obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has been mainly going with, as we all know. So probably Martial. He'll make some changes from the Arsenal game, probably be Martial and Rashford, to start. He'll bring De Gea back into contention. As I said, there's talk saying that Chris Smalling, could be in contention, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed as well. But yeah, he'll make a couple of changes, as I currently said. But he's the right man for the job. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? 8 wins out of 8 now. Manchester United, he could become the first manager to win his first 7 Premier League games, in charge of a club. So he'll beat Guardiola's record, and he'll beat Carlo Ancelotti's record as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, I think he's the right man for the job because he knows everything about the club. He knows the culture of the club. He knows the trappings of the club. And you watch some of these players grow and develop, when he was managing the reserve team. And he's not like Jesse Lingard, since he was a boy. And, he's a great, great player for 11 years. As we all know, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, won honours. And, he was a great, great player under Alex Ferguson. So he knows everything about the club. There's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and even Andy Cole, the former West Ham player, even come out saying that Solskjaer potentially, should get the job on a full-time basis, because we've got a great chance of top four. As I said, we're level on points with Arsenal. As I said, we are level on points now with Arsenal. We're only 3 points behind top four, and obviously that's our target this season, is to get in that top four. We've got a great chance of winning the FA Cup this season, which would be a remarkable achievement under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But yeah, he says the team's improving. He was talking about rotating Solskjaer, and he was going to give everybody the chance, to participate. But I think he's put the right mentality into the team. He's got them playing in the right vein, in the right manner, and he has rejuvenated the team, and he's rejuvenated the form of Lukaku and Sanchez, potentially, who made a massive impact against Arsenal in the FA Cup, because Lukaku's been struggling all season. But I think, since Solskjaer's coming in, Lukaku has been given the chance, because we know mainly he's been coming off the bench, Lukaku, and so too with Sanchez, but I think they have really made a big impact. And Sanchez obviously hasn't really had the chance, because, he's recently been injured. As we all know, he's had a couple of injuries, as we all currently know. But I think, Lukaku, we all know he's slow, and we do have strong reservations about him. But I think he's a proven goal scorer in the Premier League, and the brilliance of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is dramatically improving him, as we all currently know. But I think, he's brought fluidity to the team of Solskjaer. He's got him playing the attacking football, that we used to play under Alex Ferguson, which is very, very good to see. And he's brought the fear factor back, as we all know, and he has brought the Alex Ferguson days, as we all currently know. And we have spent a lot of money on players, as we all currently know. It's probably unlikely that we're going to make any signings in this January window, because there's only 3 days left, don't forget, of the January transfer window. Because obviously the club are still, obviously Ed Woodward is still, recruiting, to get a director of football to come into the club before he commits to any future signings. I don't know if Solskjaer is the favoured now to get the job. A lot of United fans would want to see him recommended in to take the job on a full-time basis, as we all know. He hasn't had great managerial experience. He was at Cardiff, he got relegated with Cardiff, and, he won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde. But I think he's the right man for Manchester United, because he's tactically right. He knows his 11. He doesn't rest on his laurels. He shows that inspiration, and his game plan just absolutely works. As I currently said, because Pogba's playing very, very well. He's getting the freedom, to express himself. As we all know, he's been scoring and he's been providing. Played very, very well in the FA Cup against Arsenal. Totally bossed that midfield. As we all know, I thought Lukaku had a great game against Arsenal. He's improving under Solskjaer. Lingard's really improving under Solskjaer as well, getting his name on the score sheet. But 2 great assists for Lukaku, 2 great passes he played through. And, with the quality we've got up front, with the movement of Lingard, Lukaku and Sanchez in the Arsenal game, it just caused Arsenal's defence all sorts of problems. We exposed their naive defence, and we capitalised on that, which was very, very good to see. Arsenal's effort was there in the game, but defensively they were shambolic, and obviously they lost the likes of, what's his name, Socrates, which is potentially one of their best defenders at the moment. They lost Socrates, they lost Koscielny, in the second half as well, and that's what killed Arsenal's momentum, as we all currently know. But yeah, I think Solskjaer, I've got a lot of trust with him. He can get us into that position, we want to be in, and I think he can command us in that position. I think for next season, I think we can be up there competing with the likes of City and Liverpool, and competing for major honours. Hopefully get some signings this summer, which we are going to potentially do, because we still need signings. We need a strong central defender. We need someone on the right hand side, and we need someone, we need centre defensive mid. We need central defender, we need someone on the right, because as I did say, all our attack is coming from the left-hand side, as we all know. And as I did say, I do still see players leaving the club, as we all currently know. There's a few players, we are linked with them as well, but this should be an easy Manchester United win, against Burnley at Old Trafford. Burnley is struggling, they're only 3 points above, relegation of Burnley. They've lost 13 games this season. There was in a good run of form, before they got thrashed by Manchester City, in the FA Cup. A bit of FA Cup result, Chelsea won by 3-0 against Wednesday. Palace won at home to Tottenham, 2-0. That was a shock, but obviously Tottenham, are struggling now, because obviously they've got 2 of the stars out. They've got Harry Kane out till March. They've got Dele Alli out until March as well. I still think potentially they could still get top 4, Tottenham. There's quite a few teams, going for the 4, as we all know, but, we could see a different Tottenham now, potentially because they've got Harry Kane out and Dele Alli. I think Son's just come back from international duty as well. So Tottenham have had a couple of problems. Manchester City beating Burnley 5-0. It would be very, very good, if we were to get Manchester City in the 5th round of the FA Cup. How entertaining would that be? Now it's a different kettle of fish. Now we've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got the team playing. He's got the team full of confidence, and he has got them motivated. And what a clash that'd be. think the last time we played City in the FA Cup, didn't we win by 3-2? Was it back in 2012 or something like that, if I can remember rightly? We won that game 3-2 as well. Last time we actually played City in the FA Cup, as I couldn't have said, but that would be a fantastic tie. And I think, Guardiola was a great manager. Won 26 trophies, I think, in his managerial career, something like that. He spent a lot of money. £1 billion, I think, in all his managerial career. I think majority of it's been spent on Manchester City though, but City have got a really good squad. And what an entertaining fifth round tie that would be if we was to draw Manchester City. That would be interesting indeed. But we still know we've got games coming up, thick and fast. Solskjaer's won 8 out of 8 at the moment, looking to make it 9 against Burnley. Then after Burnley, I think it's Leicester away. I think it's Leicester, then it's Fulham, and then I think it's Paris Saint-Germain after that. So we should be beating Burnley, we should be beating Leicester, and we should be beating Fulham. So potentially there should be 9 or 10 wins, there for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. But a bit of Tina's been confirmed. De Gea will be back in back in contention, after missing the Arsenal game. Smalling reportedly could be in contention. It's not guaranteed, but it could be in contention because recently he's had a foot injury. It's likely he'll go with the midfield trio of Herrera, Matic and Pogba. That look very effective. He'll probably be Martial and Rashford back into contention, from the start, and probably been Sanchez on in the game. He'll probably been Lukaku on in the game because he has been doing that, hasn't he, recently, rotating the squad, Solskjaer. But we know Martial and Rashford have been, main, Solskjaer's first choice, from the start, as we all know. But he did rotate a little bit against Arsenal. I thought Bailly had a good game against Arsenal. I think Bailly does need to feature more that centre-back position because I think, he looks very good alongside Lindelof. I think, they complement each other. But we know recently it has really been Phil Jones who's been playing alongside Lindelof. I think Luke Shaw, obviously was our first choice left back. I think he had a really good game against Arsenal as well. I think Herrera looks very good in that midfield. I think he's becoming more of a regular under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's under Herrera. He's getting more starts from the start and he's becoming more of a regular. He's getting more starts from the start and he's becoming more of a regular. He's under Herrera and he's playing very well. Is Herrera, so I have been very impressed with him as well. But man of the match last time out against Arsenal was Paul Pogba. Totally ran the midfield through, and when he's playing in that right vein, and this is the best we've seen of Pogba within this month or so under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's getting the freedom to express himself more, and I think the front men are getting the the freedom to interchange closer together. So there's a difference there. I think Solskjaer's going with a system that currently suits these players, and Solskjaer's got the team playing the right way, which is very good to see. But Man United Burnley last 7 meetings, I think, the last 7 head-to-head, we've won 4, there's been 3 draws, and obviously Burnley haven't won 1. Burnley haven't beaten us at Old Trafford, as I said, since 1962, as I currently said, so that's 50-odd years ago, as I currently said in the process. But yeah, Solskjaer could make history in the Premier League tomorrow, which would be very good, and it's likely we'll do it. Burnley have got a couple of good players in their team, but I can't see them doing out at Old Trafford, because they got absolutely demolished at Manchester City, as we all currently know. But as I did say, it's good to see, that Solskjaer's brought the positivity back to the club. As we all know, he's brought the fluidity back to the team. He's brought the confidence back to the team, as I currently said. And Solskjaer is the right man for Manchester United. And we know there's been talks of Pochettino coming at the end of the season, because obviously for a long time, he's been Ed Woodward's number 1 choice, as we all currently know. But now, obviously, Solskjaer's brought something magical to Manchester United, and if we can win the FA Cup, and we can, get the top 4, so Ed Woodward, will have a different, a different opinion whether to man Solskjaer to get the job on a full-time basis. I said, but we know there's been talks of Pochettino coming in. If we were to keep Solskjaer, it would be a cheaper alternative anywhere, and we would be potentially be saving money. That money we would be saving, we could get a potential signing with that, because obviously we know if we want to get Pochettino in, we don't need him, but if we want to get him in, it would cost us around £35-40 million to get him in anywhere. It would cost us around £35-40 million to get him in anyway, because he signed a 5-year deal last summer with Tottenham. But I think he's happy at Tottenham anyway. He's fully committed to Tottenham. And as Danny Levy came out, was it a couple of weeks ago, suggesting out that he doesn't think he'll leave Tottenham. Well, he doesn't want him to leave Tottenham. He's refusing to let him leave Tottenham. He said even if we were to pay in the excess of £50 million, Daniel Levy would not let Mauricio Pochettino leave Tottenham, as we all know. And he hasn't won out as a manager, Pochettino. I think he's a good manager. good at developing young players, as we all know, and he's a good manager because he's well Premier League proven and he understands the Premier League. He's good at developing young players. As I said, he's Pochettino, but he hasn't won out in terms of silver. I think he's won over 100 odd games for Tottenham as Pochettino, but to be quite honest with you, I'd rather keep Solskjaer on the job on a full-time basis, if I'm going to be honest with you. Well then. Yeah, I'd rather Solskjaer get the job on a full-time basis. I was going to say, just filling my liquid up there for me e-cig. But yeah, we know there has been talks of Pochettino coming in, but nah, we'd need to keep Solskjaer to get the job on a full-time basis. Because Pochettino, as I did say, is a good manager. He's had a good record at Tottenham. He had a good record at Southampton. I think now this is his 5th season with Tottenham, but he's only spent £50 million at Tottenham since 2014, as we all currently know as Mauricio Pochettino. But we know that he's been mentioned a lot as Mauricio Pochettino. But according to what Daniel Levy said, he's refusing to let Pochettino go. And Tottenham's still awaiting their new stadium, aren't they? So Pochettino will not leave because he's done a very, very good job at Tottenham, to be quite honest with you. He's got them second place finishes, got them third place finishes. Got them to the last 16 of the Champions League as well. So his progression has been very, very good, but hasn't won out in terms of silverware. So potentially now, I don't think we potentially need him. Well. I don't think we potentially need him, to be quite honest. But obviously, Solskjaer did confirm he doesn't expect us to make any signs in this January window. He actually confirmed this early on in the window. He said he doesn't expect us to make any signs, to be quite honest, because obviously Ed Woodward wants to hire a director of football to come into the club, before, he thinks about, future signings. As we all currently know, we know that Ed Woodward's number one choice has been Paul Mitchell, who's currently head of recruitment at RP. Big, obviously. He has got a good relationship with Pochettino because he's worked for him in the past as Paul Mitchell, as we all know, because obviously he's head of recruitment at RP Lesbig. RP Lesbig want to offer him a new contract, reportedly, and offer him a bigger role at the club. Paul Mitchell, I think that we've been interested in a few candidates, as I have explained to you, but I think Paul Mitchell is Ed Woodward's number one. Paul Mitchell is responsible for some of the signings of players such as Toby Alderweireld and Dele Alli when he's heading at Tottenham, and when he was at Southampton, he was responsible for the signs of the likes of Dejan Lovren and Sergio Marnier and all that. This Paul Mitchell, but reportedly RP Lesbig want to sign him a new deal. I think he's been there like a year now, has he? In Germany with RP Lesbig as Paul Mitchell, but he's been mentioned. Who got mentioned in the press the other day was Andrea Beretta as well, head of recruitment at Atletico Madrid. He's been a name that's been mentioned as well. Head of recruitment at Atletico Madrid. He's key to Atletico Madrid's recent success, reportedly, as he did mention. He's called Andrea Beretta, however you pronounce his surname. So reportedly, we have looked at him, and he was responsible for some of the signs of the likes of Griezmann and Atletico Madrid and Jono Blanc and Falcao and all that. And Diego Costa, he was responsible for them signs as well, was this Andrea Beretta. But reportedly Atletico Madrid want to sign him a new contract. So Atletico Madrid have been in talks of signing him a new contract as well. But yeah, a very, very good start under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 6 of the games you would have expected us to win, even if we would have had Jose Mourinho. But you can just see the difference in the team that, this team, want to play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And we have been playing catch-up for 5 years or so now. We know we've had 3 managers, since Ferguson's retired, and it hasn't worked out under them. And we have spent a lot of money since Fergie left. Spent like 700-800 million, seen players come in, and we've seen players leave, as we all currently know. But I think we have got the right man for the job in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he would definitely take the job on a full-time basis. Would Solskjaer? We've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson's retired, as we all know. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. I still maybe think we're at least a year off the league until we do get some signings into the club. But as I did say before we commit to any signings, as Ed Woodward's confirmed, he wants to get a director of football into the club, as I currently said. But yeah, going into this Burnley game, Solskjaer will rotate the squad a little bit, as we all know. As I said, it'll be Martial and Rashford playing again from the start. De Gea will start. He'll be back in contention because he missed the Arsenal game. Obviously, as well, I think he did say Chris Smalling could be in contention as well. Will Bailly play? I do not know. For me, it did say Diego Dalot could come in as well. I think Diego Dalot needs to come in for Ashley Young at that right back position, to be quite honest with you, because I think Ashley Young's past it now. We've had a number of years out of him. He has been a very, very good servant for Manchester United. We have had him here since 2011. Well experienced right back. As we all know, he's won league titles. He's won everything here apart from the Champions League. As we all know, he's made over 300 odd appearances. But I actually do think we do need a right back, and to be quite honest with you, and obviously I think Valencia, could be going, as I said, and I do think, players will believe in Manchester United. I do think Fellaini will probably leave. He's obviously out for 3 or 4 weeks, so obviously he isn't going to be in contention anyway. And obviously he doesn't fit in this new he doesn't fit this new regime at Manchester United, obviously, because he's not going to be playing that much under Solskjaer anyway. It did say Solskjaer was open to selling Manny and Fellaini because obviously he's injured now. There were talks about there were a few teams interested in him. He did say we're willing to sell him off for 15 million, Manny and Fellaini. So I think he'll go. I do think also Darmian will go because Darmian can't even get into the team, as we all know. And reportedly we've extended 1 year extension on his contract. Reportedly, a few teams have been interested in Matteo Darmian. A few Italian teams had a lot of experience of playing in Italy. When he was a lot younger in his prime, Matteo Darmian, because he played for Torino and he began his career with Milan and all that. Matteo Darmian. So there has been speculation of him leaving. As I was saying, I think Jones and Smalling could be gone next season as well. As I said about Valencia, I think he'll be going because reportedly it says Fulham and Newcastle are monitoring their interest in Antonio Valencia. There's been rumours going on that saying that he could still leave before this January transfer window ends. Reportedly he's been told that he could he's been told that he can leave Manchester United in this January window, or he may leave in the summer. But obviously Valencia can't even get into the team, as we all couldn't know, because obviously Ashley Young's our first choice right back, and Valencia's had a couple of injuries this season. He's hardly played in the Premier League this season, and he's 33 years of age now. He's Antonio Valencia. I think Ashley Young's 32, or I think he's 33. He's one of them. Is Ashley Young, but Valencia's been a good servant over the years. He has been a good a central right back for us. At Manchester United, he's made over 300 odd appearances, won league titles here. And he's won everything apart from the Champions League, and that's the only thing he hasn't won. Well, the Europa League, but it's the below the Champions League, isn't it? Is the Europa League. But Valencia's made over 300 odd appearances, and he has grown and developed over the years, and he has been here 10 years now. As Antonio Valencia comes to an end of his contract term in the summer, as well, as we all currently know. But as I did say, I do think, there's players coming to the end of the contracts, but as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did confirm, the contract negotiations are progressing with the likes of De Gea and Martial and Juan Mata, obviously, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer confirmed. But as I did say, yeah, so potentially, we've got players coming to end the deals, and we do need to address that. And I think we are going to do this, because obviously, we've got Martial who's coming to an end of his deal, as we all know. His performances have been fantastic for Manchester United. There was strong speculation of him leaving last summer because he had a bad relationship, with Jose Mourinho, but he didn't leave. But there was strong speculation of him leaving, and even his agent said he was, pessimistic, about him signing a new long-term deal. And he confirmed that he did want to leave Manchester United, last summer. Anthony Martial. But we activated a 12-month extension on his current contract last year. But reportedly, he's demanded with his agent Martial, he wants to negotiate a new deal. I think it's going to be worth around £150,000 a week, and it's going to be a 5-year deal. Anthony Martial is going to sign, as I said. And I think he's good on that left-hand side. He creates that width, very, 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 very well. Does Anthony Martial, and I think Rashford looks very, very effective. In the middle, looks very, very effective. Rashford when he's playing centrally, and Rashford is our number 1, number 9. As we all currently know, because obviously Rashford and Martial have been first choice over Lukaku and Sanchez. But it'd be good to see Lukaku and Sanchez, put a good, decent performance out against Arsenal in the FA Cup, as we all know. But yeah, we'll get Martial a new deal at the club as well, which is very, very good to see. And same with De Gea. I think we can get him a new deal. It did say he was demanding he wanted around £300,000 a week, David De Gea, as that I did confirm. But we're on the brink of signing him a new long-term deal at the club. David De Gea. I think actually it did say Martial's going to sign a new 5-year deal, so that will take him under contract till 2024. But De Gea's, I don't know how long the deal will be, but I think it will be quite long term because he wants to commit his long term future in Manchester United. Does David De Gea, as we all know, as he has confirmed. We know he was on the brink of joining Real Madrid in 2015. We've heard the rumours that Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain were interested in David De Gea, as we all know, and he was talking about competing for silverware and all that. And I think we get a couple of signings in. And we've still got Solskjaer, at the end of the season. We do recommend him in on a full-time basis. I think we can, be up there challenging for the league. But the number of years De Gea's been here, his progression's been absolutely fantastic because he has been here, since 2011, as we all know, made over 300 odd appearances. He's made about 250 odd in the Premier League, 150 of them. I think kept about 97 clean sheets, in the Premier League. De Gea, he's won Clubs Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons as well. He's won the Smack Busby Player of the Year 4 out of 5 seasons. And, he's won everything here as David De Gea, of course, as well, apart from the Champions League. He's won everything here, but his progression has been absolutely fantastic, as I said. So, yeah, we'll get him a new deal as well, which will be good to see. I hope we can get Ander Herrera a new deal as well. I really hope we can get Ander Herrera a new deal at the club because I think his progression has been very, very good since Louis van Gaal got him into the club in 2014. But I think since Solskjaer's definitely coming, he's been more first choice, and he's playing a big part in that midfield. Is Ander, and I do think he complements our midfield very, very well. And hopefully, with Juan Mata, same with him. We can somewhere along the line, get him a new deal at the club as well. We're only going to be keen to offer him a 1-year extension on his current contract, Juan Mata. We know recently Lingard's been first choice ahead of Juan Mata, so recently, Juan Mata hasn't been playing. But Juan Mata, we're only keen on giving him a 1-year extension on his current contract, considering what he's at age 30, age 31 now. Is Juan Mata, as we all know. But there's been strong speculation. That there's been a few teams interested in him. Reportedly, did it say that Arsenal at one point were interested in him? It said Barcelona contacted his representatives. I think it did mention Paris and Saint-Germain and Juventus were reportedly interested in him as well. Because I think Juan Mata does miss Spain because that's where he actually began his career. As a young boy. As we all currently know, when he was a lot younger in his prime, I think he began it with Real Madrid. He had 4 years with Valencia. He actually played under Rainmay when he was a lot younger in his prime, Juan Mata. But now, he's been in the Premier League a number of years, a good, 7-8 years at least. This is including his 3 years he had with Chelsea as well. And since he's been here since 2014, I think he's been a very, very good, consistent player. And I hope we can get him 1-year extension on his contract. And he's won everything, in the Premier League, apart from the Premier League thing. Apart from the Premier League, that's the only thing Juan Mata has not won in England is the Premier League. And that's, as we all know, but he's won the Champions League and all that, and he's won the FA Cup, the League Cup, but he hasn't won the Premier League as Juan Mata. And I think since he's been here, he's made like over 200 odd appearances, as we all know, but still a very, very consistent player. But Solskjaer did confirm, we can secure Juan Mata a new deal at the club as well. But there's still players coming to end the contracts, but I think we'll work that out, as I said. But the players I've been impressed with, since Solskjaer's coming. I think Lukaku's form's been rejuvenated. I think Sanchez still needs a bit more game time to rejuvenate his form, but Sanchez, proved himself, against Arsenal. Got his name on the score sheet, which was good to see. There's still areas of Sanchez's game he does need to adapt. As I said, he's only been here just over a year. As we all know, I've been very, very impressed with Matic. I think he's really, really improved. And we know he's slow. We know we have reservations about him, but I think he's dramatically improved under Solskjaer. I think his distribution's improved. I think he looks more effective in his passing, and I think he's galloping forward more. So I've been very, very impressed with the Man U matches, to quite honest with you. Fred, really hasn't been given the chance so far, as we all know. Andres Pereira's getting a lot. He isn't getting enough game time, so there's been rumours about Andres Pereira leaving the club as well, because there's been no sign of him signing a new contract at the club as well. I've been very, very impressed with Luke Shaw. I think when Bailly plays, he complements our central defensive area very, very well. So I think the majority of the team has all dramatically improved, since Solskjaer's come in, as we all can know, because we are playing in the way that Solskjaer demanded these players to play, and these players are doing that, because he did confirm Solskjaer wants the players to express themselves, get them enjoying football again, and this is what, the players are currently doing, which is very, very good to see, as I said. But we should beat Burnley on Tuesday. Should be an easy win for Manchester United. Burnley are in bad form, they're sitting 16th in the league, had 13 defeats out of 23 so far this season. Obviously, Sean Dyche is their current manager, as I currently said. Burnley have got a couple of good players in their teams. As I did say, they've got injuries to Aaron Lennon and Jonathan Walters. They've got injuries to them of Burnley as well. They haven't beaten us, as I said, Old Trafford since 1962. They haven't beaten us all in all for 10 years. They actually beat us 1-0. What was that in 2009, was it? Yeah, it was back in 2009. And this is actually going to be the 128th meeting between Manchester United and Burnley, as that did confirm as well. But we'll update on a bit of transfer rumours that are going on in the media that I am going to update you on right now. There's a bit of transfer rumours going on. Steven Bergwijn, again, has reportedly been mentioned in the media. Steven Bergwijn reportedly said Manchester United have showed an interest in him, and reportedly Manchester United have told PSV to keep Manchester United informed if PSV are willing to do any business or sanction him off. Reportedly he's rated at around 25 million pounds. He's Dutch. He's only he's 21 years of age, isn't he? Steven Bergwijn is 21. He's Dutch. As I currently said, reportedly his performances for PSV have been very, very impressive this season. Can play on each win. He's under contract with PSV till 2022, but Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye on the player. Reportedly, it said that Bayern Munich have also been interested in him as well, and they've instructed scouts to keep an eye on the player as well. Because as I did say, Bayern Munich, are looking to get some young players into their team as well. But Steven Bergwijn, do you think he complement our team well? He's very, very young, just like Rashford young, Martial's young, Lingard's young. As I currently said, and he's another good youngster because reportedly his performances for PSV have been good this season. I think he used to play in the PSV reserve team, so he has progressed up the ranks very, very well. Actually played for Ajax in his youth career, did the player as well. But reportedly his performances have been very, very good this season. There's news coming out as well about Nicola Barella. I do want to update you guys on about Nicola Barella. Reportedly, there's news coming out saying it would be difficult for him not to join Manchester United. So he's saying it would be difficult for him not to join Manchester United, this Nicola Barella. Reportedly probably rated at around 50 million euros, which is about 45. I can't remember. I don't know what it is in pounds. It'll be about 46, 47 million pounds in sterling, won't it? But this Nicola Barella is a very, very good player. Now, I've been speaking about that. We do need a defensive midfielder, but he actually can operate anywhere in the midfield, and he's got a good wide range of skills. Only 21 years of age. Progressing up Cagliari. He progressed in Cagliari's youth system. Did the player? He's a Cagliari player. He's on the contract with them until 2022. As I said, rated at around 50 million euros reportedly. But he did say that Man United are actually interested in the player. Probably won't happen in this January window. As I said, probably will likely happen in the summer if the deal is to go over the line for the player. But as I said, he's got a good wide range of skills. He can play as an attacking mid. He can play as a defensive mid. He can play as a central mid. He can play as a defensive mid. As I said, I think his favourite position is on the right hand side. To be quite honest with you, it's Nicola Barella's. But reportedly Chelsea that's been a potential Chelsea target as well, because obviously Chelsea are looking for a replacement for Cesc Fabregas, as we all currently know, because Chelsea have obviously failed in their pursuit of Leandro Paredes, because obviously now PSG have got I've got Leandro Paredes on the verge of getting Leandro Paredes, I think, because PSG I think have agreed around a 36 million pound fee with Zenit St Petersburg over this. It was looking likely he was going to be going to Chelsea, because it did say, the narrative about this, I heard about it early on in the window, that Chelsea had agreed a contract and personal terms for the player. But reportedly Chelsea never come to an agreement on a fee for Leandro Paredes, because Zenit at that point were demanding around £36 million. Chelsea were in negotiations with Zenit St Petersburg, and then PSG reportedly stepped in. They had negotiations. He went over to PSG because he did want to make the move to PSG. PSG are reportedly going to give him a 4.5-year deal, and I think a contract, 4.5-year deal, a 4.5-year contract, and PSG I think have agreed a fee with Zenit for around 36 million pounds. But 24 years of age, and he did confirm he did want to leave Russia. Reportedly his performances with Zenit have been good. Zenit paid 24 million pounds to him from Roma, as we all currently know. But yeah, Chelsea have obviously missed out on him, but they want to replace him with Fabregas, and they want to back up for Jorginho, the Chelsea, as we all currently know. But as he did say, he had this Nicola Barella's been mentioned, and reportedly said it would be hard for him not to join Manchester United. And, with the Steven Bergwijn situation, we have reportedly being interested in him as well. So we have got a few potential targets, we're interested in. Obviously, as long-term target and, the narrative about this. We've heard this narrative, since last summer that we've been heavily linked with Napoli's Koulibaly, as we all know. As I said, saying with that, if a deal is likely to happen, it will probably, happen in the summer. We know it will cost us a lot of money, a lot of money to recommend him to come into this club, but we have got that financial power, to meet Koulibaly's valuation, which is over £100 million, as we all currently know. He's obviously got a contract with Napoli till 2023, as we all currently know, as I did say, but he's been at Napoli, a number of years now as Koulibaly, as we all know, and I think, he does want to leave, because, he's been there a good number of years. He's grown, developed very well. He's about 6'5". He's 27 years of age, so you still get quite a lot of years out of him if he wants to come to United. But he suffered bad racial abuse, last year in December on Boxing Day, and this is why the majority of the reason why he may want to leave Napoli, as we all know. He did say reportedly Real Madrid were interested in Man United in the process so far. I've had 3 bids turned down after we've been in talks over getting Koulibaly from Napoli. The recent one was £95 million bid, when we had turned down for the player. But the Napoli president confirmed, I think he did confirm they're not willing to do any business this January transfer window for Koulibaly. But we know how much of a great leader, he would be in our back line, Koulibaly, he would be fantastic. I know we've been keeping tracks on Eder Militao as well. He's been another player, that's been mentioned. 4 years left in his contract, 40-odd million release clause included in it. Very young, versatility, very good, can play in quite a few positions, can play as a centre-back, defensive mid and a right-back. I think predominantly he's a right-back, Eder Militao. He's only been at Porto. He's at Porto now, obviously. He's only been at Porto since last summer. As I currently said, and he's Brazilian, as we all know. Reportedly, his performances have been, very impressive this season. And I think if we do get any young players under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, are still very young in the prime, I think they'll grow and develop very well. And I think Eder Militao would, to be quite honest, I think he'd be very effective in our back line. But obviously, we know that Koulibaly is obviously our number one, as we all know. We know Utd Vs being mentioned. We've been obviously, of course, linked with him. As I said, we're heavily linked with him last summer because that's one of the players Jose Mourinho wanted to get in. Jose Mourinho obviously wasn't backed enough last summer. He wasn't getting some of the signings that he wanted to get in because the board weren't backing some of his signings he wanted to get in to the club. So we only ended up getting 3 signings last summer, which was quite disappointing. And to be quite honest with you. But as I did say, this Toby Alderweireld, I think he's lost the pace a little bit, to be quite honest. I think he needs to adjust his game more. He's 29 years of age now. Don't forget, he's 29 years of age, and I think he's lost the yard of pace as Toby Alderweireld. I still think he can be a world-class central defender. He's Premier League proven. He's well known in the Premier League. He's Premier League proven. I still think he'd be a good leader if he was to come to United. Tottenham have extended his current contract till 2020. As we all currently know, Tottenham have extended his contract till 2020. This does include a 25 million release clause, as we all know, included in the deal, as that is confirmed. But yeah, we have got a lot of options. We're linked with a lot of players who want to get in defensively, as we all know. Milan Skriniar looks in jeopardy as well. We've heard the narrative about Man United being linked with Milan Skriniar this month as well. We've heard about that. But as it confirmed early on in the window that Inter Milan confirmed they want to get him a contract renewal. I think he's still got 3 years left on his current deal. But reportedly, he said the Inter Milan boss confirmed nobody can afford him. Rated at around £75 million, 23 years of age. Only young in his prime, as I said, 4 years younger than Koulibaly. Still a very good player. His performances have been impressive, since he's been into Milan. He's obviously an ex-San Pandora player as well. So potentially, we recently have been linked with him as well. There's also rumours coming out, as I did actually update you on one of my live videos yesterday. This is regarding Christian Eriksen, reportedly because he's got about 18 months left on his current deal with Tottenham. Reports were coming out of the media suggesting out yesterday that reportedly Manchester United and Chelsea were planning to put a bid in for him this summer. Christian Eriksen, he's an attacking midfielder, but reportedly from Pochettino's perspective, Pochettino does want Christian Eriksen to commit his long-term future with Tottenham, as he did confirm. He said it would be fantastic if Christian Eriksen did commit to signing a new deal with Tottenham, because I did say his current contract does end in 2020 with Tottenham Hotspur. It would cost staggering amounts of money if we were to get him to Manchester United in the summer. But I've heard about in the last couple of days that Man United and Chelsea are planning to bring him in, in the summer. preparing to put a bid in there for Christian Eriksen. As I did say, he's been at Tottenham since 2013. This is his 6th season now with Tottenham. Tottenham only paid just over £11 million for him from Ajax. Where he actually began his career as a youngster. He won 3 Utd Vs titles with Ajax as well. And I think he's just made over just under 2 century appearances, in the Premier League, for Tottenham Hotspur. As I currently said, good player, without a shadow of a doubt, can score goals, can provide, got a lot of tenacity about his play, good on the ball. So yeah, good player, as we all know, but Tottenham still know how much of a central player he is. I think he's scored the most. I think he holds the record for the most goals scored by a Danish player. He's also become the first player to win 3 consecutive Danish Football Player of the Year awards as well. Christian Eriksen, I think he's won Tottenham Player of the Year awards as well. So he has won quite a few individual awards as Christian Eriksen. But, he did actually say that Real Madrid were reportedly interested in him as well. But reportedly now it's confirmed that Real Madrid have opted out of the race, reportedly for Christian Eriksen, reportedly as well. So reportedly there has been talks about that going on in the media as well. So yeah, so mainly that's my Manchester United versus Burnley preview. So we'll go through it again and then I'll get off and we'll do another couple of live videos soon. So essentially this is going to be the 128th meeting between Man United and Burnley all in all. Burnley haven't beaten us at Old Trafford since 1962, so that's around 56, 57 years. They haven't beaten us all in all in a decade, so that's obviously 10 years, as we all know. Solskjaer is potentially looking to become the first manager ever to win his first 7 Premier League games in charge of a club. So this will beat Guardiola's record, who won his first 6, and Carlo Ancelotti, of course, who won his first 6 as well. Solskjaer at the moment's won 8 out of 8, as we all currently know. 22 goals scored in the process. Looking for 9 wins out of 9, which were in all competitions, which would be fantastic, as I currently said. But yeah, we've obviously still got games coming up. PSG coming up in the Champions League soon. As I said, there's reports coming out saying that Neymar's going to be missing that because Neymar's just suffered an injury. So that's very, very good news for us as well, because obviously he's the most expensive player in the world. So that's good news for us as well. Neymar's report, I've heard that report saying he could be out. I think he's at the 12th of February, the first leg. I think the first leg is actually at Old Trafford. Obviously got Liverpool coming up then as well, so we do want to get his revenge on Liverpool from earlier on in the season. And we are capable of beating anybody. When the way Solskjaer's got the team playing, we are capable of beating anybody. As I said. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.